Hello everyone, it's another heretic, or Brother Nathan, whichever you prefer. So, I want to make this as short as possible because I plan on going in more depth in other videos, longer videos, as I read through the Didache. Right now I'm just going to be giving a basic, straight read-through of the Didache, but then I'm going to come back around and give some elaborations and we'll look at some more details. But this video is related to a topic that's covered quite a bit actually in the Didache, and I think that the Christian church, whether it's Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, or Protestant, what have you, I think that they all get this wrong. And I think that very few denominations or groups actually care to try to maintain the core of what Jesus or Yeshua was talking about. So, Jesus or Yeshua says in Matthew 23, not to call any man on earth Father, for we have one Father in heaven, nor to call any man teacher or rabbi or master. Really, you could include several other titles that we like to give people in that list, because really a lot of them have come to be synonymous. So terms like reverend, pastor, assistant pastor, all of these things really, I think, fall under the category of teacher, rabbi, or master. And then step above that would be the title Father. Now, Jesus says that the nations, they seek to exercise authority one over another. But he says, it shall not be so among us, for we are all brethren. Now, we know that the Christian church has these hierarchies, and men especially, but also women from time to time, will have the title of pastor, lead pastor, so-and-so, or rabbi so-and-so, or father so-and-so, and so forth. These are typically paid positions. There are salaries, sometimes housing allowances, transportation benefits, retirement benefits, and a whole host of other things that might come with the office or job or career of pastor, bishop, deacon, so forth. Not every church that I've been part of has paid deacons. A lot of times that is a voluntary, unpaid position, but, that also comes with church size and that sort of thing. What am I getting at? I'm getting at the idea of office, title, and position of perceived authority and power within the quote-unquote church, and how Yeshua or Jesus forbids it. It's not to say that the role of a bishop or deacon or teacher doesn't exist or doesn't naturally occur within an assembly. I think that these are legitimate functions. Okay? The issue is the bastardization of these functions. In the Didache, we're told that anyone presuming to be a teacher or an apostle or prophet, or really any of these positions of authority, that they are not to be had by people who love money. Really, the test for whether or not someone is a false teacher or a false prophet comes down to a couple of basic things. Number one, do they practice what they preach? And number two, are they asking for money or other things? That's it. Those are two very simple standards that the apostles give us in the Didache. So, really, by their fruits you shall know them. What I find today, and what many others have found who have left the church, is that people who call themselves teacher, pastor, rabbi, master, reverend, bishop, father, whatever, that these people enjoy a lot of comforts that some people in the congregations themselves don't have the benefit of receiving a lot of times. With these titles comes a certain level of perceived authority. And like I said, a lot of other benefits above and beyond basic daily provisions. For example, in the Didache, if someone comes and they claim to be a teacher, an apostle, or prophet, you are to receive them, but for no more than 1 or 2 days. And when they leave, you're not to give them any more than basic provisions. And if they ask for anything more than that, then they're a false prophet. So, while the Didache does prescribe bishop, deacon, teacher, prophet, it appears that these are voluntary and in many ways unpaid positions. Unpaid meaning you don't deserve anything more than what you're worth. And what you're worth is enough food to help you on your journey to your next lodging. In other words, you're not going to get wealthy if you're a true teacher, if you're a true prophet, if you're a true bishop, if you're a true deacon. You're not going to amass wealth, retirements. You're not going to be able to have a lot of creature comforts. Essentially, you're going to be just as poor, if not poorer, than the people you claim to serve. So it's not an easy standard, it's a high standard. And Jesus' brother James even writes, "Brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation." So people who presume to be Father so-and-so or Reverend so-and-so or Pastor so-and-so need to be held to a much higher standard, need to come under much greater scrutiny than I think they do. And they certainly need to stop peddling the gospel, peddling their teachings. We have pastors who are selling books at a profit, preaching at a profit, counseling at a profit, evangelizing at a profit, when really they should be doing this voluntarily out of service for their fellow man and out of love and reverence and fear of God. Instead, a lot of people get the calling, as it were, and really what that amounts to is they've chosen a career.